So the first thing is to get into contact with, you can say, the realm of each of these elements: fire, water, earth, air, and spirit. For now, leave spirit to the side. Um, Spirit or akasha, or some call it ether, it's really to only be accessed after you've accessed the other four. And it's almost, you could say, a combination of the other four. That as you bring all four elements balanced within you, that the fifth just naturally emerges. Okay, so you're going to and you're going to want to do this. Tr- treat Take each element a day at a time. Okay. So don't at first, if you're gonna fully invest yourself in elemental workings and getting to know the elements, don't do like fire and then the same day invoke air. Fire and air can actually create combustibility. If you take the element of fire and focus that on a candle flame, in theory, you can also take the element of air, focus that, and as soon as the air and the fire touch, it can create a combustion that ignites that flame. I have seen this happen. I've seen other people do it. I've not been able I've not put my time on mastering that particular skill. But uh, but yeah, so pick an element and light a candle in front of you, or even better, get a bowl of fire with some alcohol in it that you can light, and really gaze at that fire or water. Or if you're going to use earth, you can go outside, barefoot outside, and actually feel the earth underneath you. Sit down on the earth and touch it with your hands. Or you can bring some of the earth onto your altar. Now, air is an interesting one. What I like to do for air is I actually like to take a drive and go on a hike, or sometimes where I live, I can actually just go on a hike down the road and go to anywhere that I've got a cliff that I can go and feel the air around me, that I can look down and see the sky beneath me. Um, but you want to put yourself into direct contact with the actual physical element. And then while you're in direct contact with it, see if you can feel deeper. It's not a matter necessarily of seeing with your inner vision or anything like that, but it is a matter of feeling through it and feeling what's actually the element of air completely isolated. Where does this air originate on the astral plane? And come to that ability to clearly feel the difference between each element. One, again, just one day at a time. Now, the next thing that you can do is you can breathe it into yourself. So, well, what you want to first do is light a fire, or for this, you're going to want to create a lot of fire. So, a lot of candles around you, or a circle of fire. If you're going to use an outside circle that you can do this with, you can create a circle of fire around you, or a lot of water. So, a moat of water around you, or multiple bowls of water around you. Now, air, you can do this with incense, with a ton of incense burning in different directions around you. Um, and so you want to give yourself like full integration of that element. Now with earth, I have known a few people for this to actually bury themselves in sand just as much as they can. So you can do this on a beach or any other place that you can actually get into full contact with the earth. Um, and then inhale and pull that essence of that element into your body. Just again, one element at a time and one element per day. You're going to give yourself a full day to process, metabolize the experience, and flush enough of that energy out of yourself. So the next day, you're not going to overload yourself by putting one element on top of the other. Now, you want to fill yourself with it and actually feel. I'm going to say to push yourself in how much of that element you absorb. Push yourself to the point of discomfort. Okay, it's almost like yoga. You want to make yourself uncomfortable. You don't want to cause yourself pain. You want to keep yourself in that threshold though. Okay, and so that's going to give you the feeling of that element within yourself. That's gonna so let me run through what that feels like to me. earth, as I breathe in the element of earth and saturate my energy with the energy of earth, it does make me feel really weighed down, really heavy, super sleepy. Almost like instantly I start getting really, really tired and just kind of want to go lay down. Um, and what's interesting is there's a feeling that I'll get of I want to not just lay down in my bed, I want to lay down on the ground. I want to return to the earth. The more I fill myself with that, the more I saturate myself with that earth and energy, the more vivid that becomes. And then, fire does almost the exact opposite. Makes me feel awake, alert. When it starts to reach the point of discomfort is where I start physically feeling hotter. I can feel my body temperature increasing, and I can also feel a lot of my emotions start getting really intense. And specifically like anger or just dissatisfaction, kind of the more sharp emotions come to the forefront. But I get a lot of energy, a lot of oomph. Water does the exact opposite. Complete calm, relaxing. It does kind of make me feel heavy. It does start making my body feel heavy. Um, Interestingly, when I fill myself with a lot of the water element, I will feel it's hard to think with the water element. It's hard to really get good, just good clear thought. But it's almost like I can exist more in an emotional state with the water element there. Now the air is I keep saying it's the exact opposite, but these do counterbalance each other perfectly because air does make me feel lightheaded. It makes my body actually feel lighter. It makes me feel like I'm floating. Again, it's like I feel like my whole being is being pulled up towards the sky, just like the earth element was pulling me down to the earth. It's the exact opposite. I feel lighter. I feel like I'm a lot of times as I inhale more of that air element, I will feel myself feeling taller than I am, feeling thinner than I am, feeling like I'm just about to become a balloon and float up off of my seat. So yes, Cash, great seeing you here. Just seeing you getting sneaking in the room right now. Hope you're doing well. Um, Buffering for you, Zarafina. I'm so sorry. Jay the Sage asks, so before I continue, I'm gonna go back to the Alchemy brothers, the two brothers of alchemy, in just a minute. But that was basically that was my okay. Sorry, let me continue forward just a little bit. Once you have the experience of pulling that element into yourself, you can then create an orb of energy between your hands. I know I've showed you guys this before of just brushing your fingertips together until you get a magnetism. After a while, you don't necessarily need to brush your fingertips together. You can just feel that magnetism between your hands. And then you're going to inhale that element until you're saturated with it, and then exhale it into that orb. Now, at that point, you can surround yourself with that just by willing it to increase. And actually, as you can see this, I'm actually doing this with my hands because I can feel that magnetism just exploding. And then you can create an aura of that element in the energetic world around you, or you can take this and actually toss it towards something. You can absorb it. You can play a game of catch with your friends. I've done this before with some magical friends of creating an element, creating an elemental orb, tossing that to them. They catch it, and then they feel what element they feel and report it. And with this, I had about an 80% success rate with my buddy Mark playing this game for a few hours one day.